Hello and welcome to the Internet Business School surgery session today with myself, Roger Norris from the Internet Business School. And today is all about community and how you can build communities and monetize them. And we're particularly going to look at how they work on the Ultimate Business System because it is kind of a different setup than some of the traditional models, and it's really cool. I like it. Okay, so traditionally, all of our communities, we've kind of told people in the past to build up a Facebook group and to get people to join your group and get them to like you and to know you and to trust you. So eventually, at some point, you can engage with them and try to sell things to them. Because building up an audience is one of the biggest things you can do in your business. To have people coming along to like what you're doing, like you guys turning up to the OS free surgery sessions. It's fantastic. When we put in the effort and the mileage and you get benefit, and hopefully there's a two-way trust feel. Okay, so that when we say, hang on a minute, there is something that we think you would like to join up to or to buy into, you've got that bit of background on us that we really care about helping you build businesses and make money. Okay, so that's the whole know, like, and trust element. So traditionally, we've done that on Facebook groups. And I don't know about you, but I was looking at some of the groups I was in, and there were hundreds of them, and it was almost impossible to keep up with all the different groups you're a member of. And I've actually, just for the purposes of this presentation, I went through and removed myself from quite a few groups which are redundant and dead and not posting or kind of not relevant, because Facebook wants you to engage with people online. And it kind of knows based on what you've been searching or what you've been watching, and it kind of suggests different groups that you might like to be a member of. So the difficulty with Facebook is you might open up a random post. I think I opened up a random post that had a Dilbert cartoon in, and then I found that I was getting invited to all these different groups that weren't relevant. So I have actually been through and I've tweaked my sort of interest log in Facebook to tell it what I'm actually interested in, which is well worth it if you're looking for a particular group. But Facebook has always been the king of it, but their algorithm has changed so much over the last sort of months and years that in order to be visible as a group, it is much, much harder. And essentially, that their algorithm can turn around and say, "No, I don't like your group anymore. Oh, I don't like that post. We're closing you down." And if you're not careful, you can just sort of lose your group overnight and lose all your customers, which is a bit of a shame. And I know that's happened to several people in the past. So Facebook, it's a bit of a struggle, and because people have always used it and get lots of different posts here and there, it's really difficult to actually get people to engage fully with your group because their time is split across a whole different range of groups and interests. So it's kind of turning out to be not the best platform anymore, and it's a little bit fixed and dull, and there's a little bit of loss of functionality. And when it comes down to it, when you're trying to maybe promote things or sell stuff to your audience, Facebook doesn't like it, because if you're giving them a link to move off the page onto a different site, they'll deprioritize that. They want to keep people inside Facebook. So you're always fighting against that algorithm. Now, there are lots of other community sites around there that you can do for free. Discord is one particular site. So I'm a member of several sort of Discord channels, but they tend to be quite sort of techie, and there are a lot of sort of chat-based and emojis, and it gets a little bit complicated. So they're not necessarily the most fluent places for all your audience. There are things like Slack, which is more sort of enclosed group. And I know people probably use Slack a lot for work. I use it for work for one particular instance, and it kind of, I don't know, I don't kind of get on with it very well. Um, it's a little bit clunky for me. It's all right for, a business where you know everyone and you're all chatting. But for, driving an audience, it may not be the best. There are premium apps like School. Has anyone ever looked at School or in a school group? Um, it's pretty cool. It is one of the sort of top end membership sites. And it'll just zip out. And there's a whole load of different communities that you can join. And some of them are free. 357,000 members of the AI Automation Society that you can sign up for free. But there's other places where people are charging a gateway into the group. So they're monetizing the group as a whole, and you're paying to get in and then accessing all the content inside. And that's, look at that 1.3 thousand members at $49 a month. Well, there's some decent maths there, isn't there? Decent maths. It's starting to make things worthwhile. But when you're running that type of community, you've got to be making sure that you're giving your members that value for money every single month. Okay, so that's the juggling act. But there's some decent money to be made for sure. And some of these clubs in here, these communities, will be free to start with, but I can bet your life when you get inside them, there'll be an upgrade into a sort of a private section or an exclusive section of the community where they can monetize you. Okay, so these are really powerful, but to actually sign up for School, I think it's something like $99 a month, rising to $200 a month, depending on some various sort of add-ons. Okay, so it's for when you're starting out, that's a bit of a serious investment, isn't it? You've got to make that pay. Okay, and you've very probably got to have a whole lot of other software around, a software stack around your business to make that worthwhile. Okay, so I found one other one, Circle, which is another very sort of premium high-end membership site, community site. I think again that was ranging between sort of $100 to $200 a month to run those. Right, so $100 to $200 a month is more, well, nearly twice as much as the whole of the Ultimate Business System is to run a month. Just putting it into context, and with the Ultimate Business System, you get all of the apps that we've been showing you. You can build your entire business on there, and everything communicates together. So, if you had something like Circle or School, then perhaps you're getting engagements from people. But do you have somewhere where you can offer them a course to go along with the community, or pop them out to a sales page or another sign up or another group, and keep all that data inside one place? So that's kind of where the Ultimate Business System wins. Okay, so what are the things that you need from a community? Okay, we used to say three things. Okay, we used to say the know, like, and trust. Okay? But nowadays we've got to take that a step further and actually acknowledge that engagement with your audience is probably the most powerful thing. Okay, so for instance, with our surgery sessions, okay, we probably have several hundred, almost 1,000 people who've signed up for surgery sessions, and then they've kind of like forgotten about it, or they've attended one or two, life's got in the way, and then they say, "Oh, I'll catch up with it on YouTube," and then they forget where the YouTube channel is. Um, and then we end up with a core group of people. You'll find yourselves who are with us live. Okay, 50 to 100 people usually every week who are really engaging and soaking that in. Okay, and then we've got a whole number of people who will watch again on the YouTube channel as well as the second line of defense. So actually getting people to engage with you is, it's the primary aim of that and the final result of that know, like, trust. So we kind of have to acknowledge that up front in our planning of how we set up and run our community. Okay. Because if you think about in a traditional Facebook group, there's a whole ton of untapped potential inside those people's groups, because people are going, oh, I must post, I must give value, and I really hope that people press like on my post, or even better, leave a comment. Okay. Um, but actually getting those people to engage with you further and have a conversation is that's the kind of like the untapped potential of your group. And then we kind of have to structure the group and position the group to try to get people talking. And that's difficult in Facebook. It really is. It's not the most natural place to have a conversation sometimes. Um, and because you're sort of missing that strategy in Facebook groups, it's really hard to think about that monetization options up front. Okay, to know that that is part of your whole plan. But if you don't get that right, you're undervaluing your audience, and ultimately that's going to potentially affect your income. Now, no one wants a Facebook group that is just sell, sell, sell. We know we've got to give value, which is kind of why in the old-fashioned internet marketing diploma days, we used to talk about a sort of a posting strategy of value, 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 and then once a week do a sort of sales post to try to monetize things. Um, but I'm a member of a lot of groups, and I kind of see where people are focusing all on that value side and kind of forget about trying to tap into that audience value. Okay, so have that as part of your strategic plan, whatever group you're running. Acknowledge it. Okay. So my plan today is to actually I'm going to actually show you how the ultimate business system, go high level communities work, and just show you how easy they are to build and their flexibility, and hopefully what they can offer to your audience. So if you're already building with Ultimate Business System or thinking about it, this is going to give you another sort of arrow in your quiver, that you can help build your business around. Okay, right. Let's just have a look at those those three or four different structures. Okay, just to have a look at a bit of the pros cons. I've covered some of it already. So in Facebook, um, it's great that people can access that app on their phone or on their computer all the time. But as I say, you don't own any of that data. You don't necessarily have emails or contact details for those people who are part of your group. And you're just at risk and under the control of the algorithm. And it is mighty, the Facebook algorithm. I see a lot of Facebook groups that are probably saying a bit more sort of controversial stuff, or particularly if we're talking about maybe American politics. The groups who have been sort of more critical of what's going on there, all their visibility on Facebook in the last sort of 6 to 12 months has been strangled by the Facebook algorithm. And a load of people are leaving Facebook in droves and moving across to more free sites like Substack. So I've been a Substack user now for the last sort of month or two, and it's great. Loads of people going on there, and loads of big names going on there. I saw Jamie Oliver's just signed up, and Professor Hannah Fry. There's something for everyone over on Substack. So if anyone wants a new place to go and check out, then Substack is really good for sure. Okay, so Facebook has these sort of structural limitations. The Discord and Slack, I kind of said, I showed you, they're just built for chat, not necessarily for community. Really difficult to find information on because it's just one scrolling news feed in each of the channels. So it kind of works for those sort of tech side of stuff. Um, but it's going to be quite um, off piste for a lot of general people. Discord, it was built around some gamers originally, so it has sort of more sort of techie language around it. Okay, so it's probably best to avoid those ones. And finally, those sort of purpose-built sites, they're great, but they're expensive, and you probably end up by needing to stitch together a whole lot of other software around it to make it actually into a business asset, okay, rather than just a community. Okay. Bim says, what do you make of Facebook suggesting stuff that you haven't typed but has heard you talking about in their algorithm? Is it anecdotal? Is there evidence for that? I'm pretty sure we've all got evidence of our phone listening to us. No one ever seems to acknowledge it as a thing, but we've all had it. We've all had it. And with sort of remarketing now, you can just sort of vaguely search one advert or one product in Google, and within minutes you've got adverts for that appearing on your Facebook feed. And it's okay, at least you know what the cause effect is in there. But I don't think anyone's ever particularly acknowledged this phone listening thing, but there's too many spooky moments, aren't there, where it just can't be coincidence that you start getting followed around by particular products that you've talked about around the dining table. We should look into it further, shouldn't we? See if there is any truth behind it. Cool. Okay, so community, we've got to try and think about communities in a different way. Okay, we've always thought about it as something about sort of building an audience that we then invite into our house. Okay, but that audience is going to come into your front porch, open the door, come on in, and there's got to be somewhere else for them to go. Okay, so a lot of those traditional sites that we've just looked at, they're great for, or they could potentially great for building the audience, but getting them to come inside and engage with you and move off into different parts of your business, sort of converting leads into a customer, it's really difficult when the rest of your door doesn't open into your house. Sorry, it's getting a bit convoluted, but you kind of get the idea about it needs to be sort of interconnected, which I think we've mentioned that Go High Level is pretty good at. All right, so let's have a look to see what a finished community looks like inside Go High Level, an ultimate business system. And this is one that I'm just been steadily building out, ready for the relaunch of our AI Insiders Club, which I did have on a Facebook page. Let me just show you the Facebook page. There we are. So, traditional things with pinned posts, and I'm able to drop in some news stories and etc. So visual enough, but it all is all particularly linear. We don't have any particular other sort of channels going on going in here. All right. Um, so it serves its purpose, but not great. If we swap across to a ultimate business system view, it's kind of different. Right. So this is where I'm going to be moving. We're going to be relaunching the AI Insiders Club pretty soon in the next week or so. Hopefully, we're just finishing things off. And inside here, okay, I'm able to create a whole series of different channels. Okay, so when people come in, they can go to the welcome and start here. I can pin stuff at the top, and that's great. And I can link between posts as well. So if I wanted to go through to a particular prompt that I put in here, we're just going to click on there and it's going to take you through to the right place in the community to get that prompt. Okay. And we've got sort of download links as well. You can put YouTube videos in and other video links into posts as well. Okay. So really nice and flexible. We've also got the opportunity to, with these channels, to make them so people can comment and also post their own stuff as well. All of these channels that I've split out for people based on their interests. So if you're an augmented professional, so someone's using AI for work, if you find something interesting, you can come along and post it here, and I kind of like review it and send it out to the audience. Okay, so it's much more collaborative in the way that it works. And we've got that in the builder channel. So that's for people who are more interested in building products and coding, etc. So we've got stories suited to each of those channels. Brain food, robotics. We'll be able to share people's wins and results. We'll be putting in potential links for other income opportunities as well. And we've got a whole load of prompts. There's about 32, 35 prompts in here that I have redone and reorganized and improved. And there is something in here for everyone for building a business. Okay. So there's a lot of work that's going into it. Okay. It's also linked through to a course as well. Okay, so I've got a community here, but I've also got a course attached to that community. So we've had a look already in Ultimate Business System of how you can create courses. I think it's one of the first ones we did. Okay, so at the moment I've got a section here where I've got the replays of AI Insiders events going in here, and then I'll be adding other stuff as well. Okay, so really quite flexible. We can add events as well. So we'll be having our AI Insiders Club live training next Monday night. Okay, so later today I'll be posting the links in here and into the Facebook group, and people will be able to access it. There's some gamification. So there's a different levels of some of the members inside here. I've got two or three people in here beta testing with me at the minute. Okay, so really bit more of a fun for your members. You can see the whole members list as well, who are inside here, and you can actually chat with them as well. So you can send different chats to people. So really sort of interesting way of getting people to engage and collaborate. There's a whole about section. I need to put a video in here as well. Write some content. So it's got a different feel, hasn't it, from a standard Facebook group. There's a lot more going on. Okay, so let's show you how we do it, and hopefully how we do it fast and efficiently. Okay, so I've been through the whole process, um, and we'll see how that gets on. Who can help make that video? Oh, I suspect that it's Mr. Jeremy, who's coming in to see how we're getting on. Jeremy Mason is in the background, I should think. And let's see how this works. There's a couple of questions before we start. Okay, Tony says, "Hi Roger, I do not have Facebook. Is there any way I could access the older series, or is there a fee, etc.?" Older series of what, Tony? Uh, that's the question. Bimby said, "Would UBS host courses for subscribers like Kajabi or System?" Oh, yes, we covered that in some of the earlier sessions, Bimby. Okay, so let me just have a quick go across. So here's Ultimate Business System for the Internet Business School. And inside the membership section, there is a courses section. Okay, so inside here, you can make your own courses. All right, so we've done a few little ones in here just to test it out. And there's one actually that comes with the in the surgery session. Okay, so when people sign up for surgery, they get a membership inside here, and we've got a very sort of Kajabi-like structure where we can add content and add videos. It's really quite it's pretty much the same as Kajabi, to be honest. Add some body, add a title, add a video. This is only because that's in preview. There is a video that works, and it's really cool. It's really cool, and you can have unlimited courses, Spimby. Unlimited courses. So if you know if you have a Kajabi subscription, I think is it like 1 or 3 courses for $60 or $90 a month. With here, you've got $129 a month, and you've got all of this unlimited courses. You've got your email marketing, you've got AI agents, you've got everything in here. All your sales funnels, your CRM, your email marketing, your telephone systems if you want. Loads of stuff, and they all talk to each other. So there's no things like Zapier to try and move things around. Okay, which is why we're trying to encourage people to go. When you're ready to take that step, go to our page and you can sign up for a 30-day trial and get building with the platform and move your business across in one place. And there's less technical headache. There's a learning curve, absolutely, which is why we do a lot of these videos to help people out on that learning curve. And there's also full support. Okay, so there's a help up here. So we have a team of platform experts who will help you through any questions. There's knowledge base. There's an AI agent in here as well that will answer your questions. So you can always keep moving quickly. Okay, a couple of questions before we go through. Tony was talking about the AI Insiders. Yeah, so if you're a member of the AI Insiders Club, you've got the inside your members area, you've got the full back catalogue of all the training sessions we've done, going back nearly 3 years to November 2023. Possibly some of those older ones are going to be a little bit out of date now when we were talking about things like Google Bard. So yeah, probably no more than 6 months of content is is worth going back to review because things change so much, which is the important thing about the AI Insiders Club, is things are changing so quickly, on a daily basis. That's the sort of information feed and support and knowledge we provide. Okay, so let's go and see how they work. Okay, so we've got, let's just, if we think about it, I'm just going to kind of do a bit of a demo. We've got um, a internet business called Surgery, and we could make a community for that if we wanted to, or we can make a community for anything we wanted to around Internet Business School. Okay, I'm not. If I do this as a test, we're probably going to put it live. Okay, because I've got enough things going on at the minute, but just want to show you how it all works. So we come to memberships and communities. Okay, and it's pretty nice and simple. We can create a community. And when we click on that button, we're going to be asked to give the group a name. We're going to be asked to give a URL on our UBS account. Okay, so internetbusinessschool.org/. Okay, that's the group slug. We're going to need to add a description, and we need to choose whether the group is going to be public and discoverable, because inside the main platform, Ultimate Business System of Go High Level, there is a groups page where people can search out different groups. Okay, so you've always got a lot of active users there. And then you've got to add things like a favicon, a cover image, and a logo. Okay, and they tell you the ratio sizes of these as well. So these are the things that we've got to have ready to do. Now, some of you might just be able to do that off the top of your head. Okay, but it's worth just sort of pausing at this point and thinking about how you optimize your group for engagement and discovery. Okay, and some of that will be just in the name of it. Using keywords and descriptive words that kind of sell and grab people. Okay, so what I'm going to think of now is I'm going to use a little bit of AI help at this point. Okay, because why not? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a screenshot of this. I'm going to use it to sort of teach AI what I need to set up a group inside Ultimate Business System. Right, and then we're going to go to ChatGPT, use ChatGPT. Okay, and then I'll tell you what. Okay, I'm going to use ChatGPT, or I could use Claude or Gemini. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to preview something that is going to be released into the new AI Insiders Club. Okay, so it's a different way of using ChatGPT and Claude, and it works effectively if you have a premium subscription to one of those platforms. Okay, so when you see what I'm doing on here, it's going to look a little bit different to how you will chat with your regular AI. But essentially, it's a way of me using all of the persona skill prompts that I built and be able to use them in one coherent conversation without sort of copying and pasting prompts all over the place. All right. So let's just see what happens. Okay. I'm not going to say anything more about this. It's just going to be a bit of a demo. Okay. So I'm going to go across to here, close this up, and we're just going to have a chat with here. I'm going to add that photo. Okay. And which is in here. So it's got some context. Come on, there we are. We've added the proto. And then I'm just going to chat to it and explain that I'm trying to create a group for the Internet Business School Surgery to help engage and grow the community. Right, so let's just have a little chat here. I am building a new community from scratch inside the Ultimate Business System, which is our Go High Level community prompt. And I am interested in building community to help our students who participate in our Internet Business School surgery sessions. Now, these are free sessions that we hold every Wednesday online, and people come along and we show them how to use the Ultimate Business System software and give them confidence to grow with the platform and to sign up for a free trial of 30 days to build their business. Because we know that the Ultimate Business System software is going to save them money and time and effort further down the line. Okay, so we want a community that helps members grow and learn and communicate. I've given you a screenshot of all the information I need initially to populate the new community. Can you work through it and give me ideas of the optimal naming conventions and descriptions for the community? Okay. So we're just giving it a bit of a rambling prompt. That's fine. It's not a problem. It will figure out what I want. And then I'm going to send this away. Okay. Now this is where it's going to be a little bit different because it's bringing up something called mission control, which is something I have built. And it's not something I've seen anywhere else. Not bragging, but it's really cool. And what this is able to do is it's able to assess my needs, and it's identified all the skills that it's got at its disposal and said, okay, this sounds like we need to have this specialist answer that question. Okay. And so it's launched into this build package persona. And it says, right, we're not just building another community, you're building a retention and activation layer for your free Wednesday surgery sessions. This matters because the community has 3 jobs simultaneously: to reduce overwhelm, increase confidence, and convert trial users to committed platform users. That's pretty cool, isn't it? That's what we want to do. Okay, so the naming and positioning needs to signal support, momentum, implementation, belonging, practical outcomes, not forum, not networking, not vague entrepreneurial stuff. Okay, so it's given me some ideas of UBS Growth Hub. It's given me a slug to use as well and a description. It's got the Internet Business School Inner Circle, again with a description and a slug. UBS Launch Lab. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. And the Business Builders Community. Best long-term brand asset. Okay. Okay, so it's given some additional context around here around SEO as well. Okay, and then I've either got a choice at the end of the answer to refine that answer, accept it and carry on, or just call in one of the other experts I've got. Okay, so it's a different way of working in this mission control. All right, so of those ones, let's just have a little look. We've got 4 options there. Okay, so in the chat, let's see what the vote is. So option 1 for the UBS Growth Hub. I could stick a 1 in the chat if that's one you like. Number 2, Internet Business School Inner Circle. Number 3, UBS Launch Lab. And number 4, the Business Builders Community. So 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat. Which do we prefer? Okay, let's just go again. We've got 1 for the UBS Growth Hub, 2 for the Internet Business School Inner Circle, 3 for the UBS Launch Lab, and 4 for the Business Builders Community. Okay, I've got threes and twos appearing at the minute. Threes and twos. There we are. The people who are sitting in here with their automated note takers. We need to train them to answer the questions. Okay. Threes, twos, and threes and twos. Okay. Um, yeah, UBS Launch Lab. Okay. Might be. All right. Let's just go for UBS Launch Lab. Okay. This is just, we're just showing the process and showing what AI can do for us. So nice and simple. Here we are. We just got some copy and paste. So we've got UBS Launch Lab. It gives the slug in there from that as well. And we've got a description, a hands-on community designed to help entrepreneurs confidently launch and grow using the ultimate business system. 10 weekly live surgery sessions, get practical support, learn proven workflows, and build your business step by step alongside other members. Okay, that's pretty good, isn't it? We could have sat there thinking about how to write that for a while, but this is all about speed. Okay, then I need a favicon, a cover image, and a logo. Okay, bang, that's not a problem. Let's just sit in here, take a photo of that one. Okay, and then go, hold on, let me just move this. I'll move it next door. It makes much more sense, isn't it? Okay, so we've gone for option 3, haven't we? Okay. Um, let's do option 3. Locked in. Now I need some visuals for it. Okay, so I'm just going to drop in that screenshot. I'm sure I took a screenshot. There it is. It's appeared. Okay, so I'm not even going to describe what I need because it's actually all in the image. And see how mission control works with that one. Okay, but they're really the new images 2, it's called, inside OpenAI, is really cool at thinking through all sort of image needs. Okay, so it's got some context that we've already given it. Okay, and it's going to sort of plan out those sort of visuals for me. It might just do them one at a time, but if you were doing this for real for yourself, you'd go through this and create images of different sizes. Let's just see what it comes up with. What have we got here? So we've got UBS Launch Lab. So it's got the cover image, the logo, and the square icon. Okay. Mark's just said this is the paid version of GPT. Yeah, this is the Pro or Plus or something. 20 quid a month one. Okay, nothing over the top. Okay. So we've got some, it's given us some typography and palettes, etc. So if you wanted to change the colors, just have that conversation with it and sort it out. Okay. So I'm just going to tell it to give me the cover image as a single output, just so we've got something to put in there. Right? But you can just sort of, just sort of tweak it through as you want to. Okay, but pretty easy, aren't they? Using AI to do this. You don't necessarily need to overthink it. We might want to use sort of, I might have wanted to give it some context around the Ultimate Business System logo, etc., or the logos we have for the surgery sessions. Okay, just to help sort that out. Okay, so it's just going to produce that. That's great. I'm just going to download that and back in here. That was the cover image, wasn't it? So it's just literally just a click and upload. We've got downloads. Where's my downloads gone? There. There we go. And that'll all be in the right orientation, ready to go. Okay. And then once I've done the other logo and the favicon, I just click on create group. Okay. And that gives us the outline of the group. Okay. I've then got to set myself a separate password because now we've got the group set up, and we manage the group itself inside a kind of like a separate um, uh, slug page inside your account. Okay. So for instance, in the Insiders Club, I've got it linked to members.aiinsidersclub.com. Okay. Rather than actually managing it inside the UBS dashboard. Okay. So if you just bear with me a moment, I'm just going to take that off screen and set myself up. Uh, just put that in there. Let me just suggest a strong password. Password set. Do, do, do. I'll update the password on that one. Okay. And then we come back. Okay. So I've now got the job of completing my bio. Okay. So I could upload my picture, drop some bio in there as well, just to fill out that sort of personal information about me. Okay. Oh, it's got to have my picture. Not a problem. I've got it somewhere. Drive. I've got my the AI version of myself somewhere. Just got to move the Zoom controls, which always get in the way. No, don't want that one. Come on. There's my Gemini headshot. Might as well just chuck that in. Yeah. Honestly, I look like that. Okay. And then you just drop your bio in there as well. Okay. So we're just sort of building up the community step by step. Okay. And here is the outline straight away of the new UBS Launch Lab. We've got, we can see our members counts. We've got our home and announcements as the first two channels. And, this is where you're just building out. Right? So we can just start by adding a channel if we wanted to, or go into the settings and build it out a bit further. Okay, inside the settings, we've got that description in here that we did at the beginning, and then we've got the option to control the access to the group. So public, anyone can see the group posts and the members of the group. Okay, private, if you want to keep it private and paywall it, or just by invitation only, you're going to click that one. Okay. Accessible from the switcher. Your group will be visible to non-group members in the switcher. We don't, for this particular version, we wouldn't want it visible to non-members, perhaps. This is where you force people to make that profile picture, and it's, I think it's useful. People are joining your group. You don't necessarily want them to be anonymous, do you? Okay, you want them to tell them a bit more about yourself, so they can interact with other people. You're probably better off, if you're a free group, great. You want to allow other members to invite new members. If you're a paid group, you want to have that one off. Right. Okay, the other things that you can add in here. So that's the details section, subscriptions. Right? So we could make this a paid subscription. Okay, and you can check, cross things around, change your currency. have your price. You can give people a trial of up to 90 days, I think it is. And you can either set the billing for monthly, annually, or weekly. Okay, so lots of flexibility if you wanted to put a pricing gate uh, on your membership. You can set it to send a weekly digest or whatever schedule you want out to your community, which is going to be pretty useful for the AI Insiders Club. I've kind of like set it to send a digest of the week's posts to members, and it keeps people reminded and engaged of what's going on. And you can actually set it out daily as well, daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. So that's a nice little feature that's going to save you a bunch of time. This is where you can access all the branding again to upload favicons and logos. So the favicon is the little image that's going to appear up here. All right. So that's a little 1x1 file, but nice and easy to now that we've done that with AI. What was in the advanced section? Oh, look, you can add custom JavaScript as well and tracking code into your header and footer. Okay. Nice and simply. Okay, you can change all the colorization of here, and I would suggest you do this. If we click across to custom theme, we can just sort of change anything. So if I want it to be more in that sort of brand colors, I can play around with it, or I can put a hex code in here. And you can pretty much change every element of the colorization, look and feel of the page. Okay, really flexible. Again, when I was doing it for the first time, I did it I helped myself using AI to look at all the different colors and to see which ones would engage more and be more visible. Okay, and if you chose different colors here, then you could actually go back to your AI chat and say, hey, these are the primary colors on the page. Can you redo the logos using those colors? And it will go and do that for you. Okay. So let's just change the group theme quickly. We can show and hide tabs. Okay, so control which tabs appear in the community. Enable or disable each tab and create a focused, streamlined experience for your member. So at the very top of the page, if you remember, let me just get rid of it. Up here, you've got discussion, learning events, leaderboard, members, and about. Okay, so you can hide those if you don't want them. All right. And just get rid of them. So if you didn't want leaderboard, or if you didn't want people to access the other members' information, just turn them off. Okay. And refresh. Hopefully that members one will disappear now. No, it hasn't. I'll not turn it off. Anyway. All right. So it gives you a bit more flexibility on how you set it up. You can force people to answer membership questions when they joins, okay, which is usually going to be around behaving themselves. Okay. All right. So we can just go back to AI and go, right, let's just take a picture of this one. Settings, come on, membership questions. Copy and paste. Let's just get this nice and typing around here. Okay, and I'll go back to my conversation here with mission control. We don't need the image anymore. Get rid of that. Chuck that in there and upload that screenshot, which is this one. Okay, go right. Can you draft me some intake questions? for new members. Right. So this is going off of to using a different skill. Um, so it'll use a writing skill prompt called dispatch, but its dispatch has got all the context of the conversation above here. Right, so I don't need to start a new conversation and explain it to anything. It knows what's going on. Um, So here are some strong membership intake questions. What are you currently building? Which best describes you? Um, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Community quality matters. Okay. So actually, I don't want a full questionnaire for people. I just need a short version that um, covers the rules. I don't need anything too much deeper, but you could put in there, about um, right. Okay, let's just list the ideal community rules, and use that as a basis for the intake question. I didn't give it quite enough context. Okay, so this is what we want people to do. Um, Bang. So if I just take those and go back to my questions. That's this one, isn't it? This one. Nope, we're over here, aren't we? Sorry. Ask a question. Um, we've got text box, single select or multiple select. Bang. It just shortened it in here. Um, yes. Oh, okay. But you want everyone to say yes to this, but you get the idea. But you could ask them questions here about what they're doing or what their focus is, why they've joined your group. Okay, um, to help your process. Okay, so you can build that out anytime you need. Oh, I didn't press save. Sorry. Bang. Press save all the time. Gamification. Okay, so you can split your audience a little bit into what levels they are, depending on how they engage and whether they post, etc., etc. Um, and you can actually add rewards to them. So you could send them a voucher when they hit a different level um, to give them a little bit of an offer. Okay, so that could be useful for some. Okay, you could add in some links for your group as well. Okay, creating promotional links for your group, and then use that off in your other social pages to get people to join your group. You can see any reported content as well, if anyone flags anything naughty. If you've got a school account, you can import your whole group into out of school and into Ultimate Business System, which I don't have a school group, but it's worth trying that as well. And this is back to whether you can your group can be seen in a whole different sort of category on the main Go High level pages. Right, so you can it's another way of getting people to join your group. Right, so lots of different things going on in the settings which you can tweak to your heart's content. Yes, Bimby, you're right. If they said no to accepting behaviour rules, how would you set it up so they couldn't join the community group? We would do that with potentially with an automation with creative workflow in the back end that looked at their answer questions and if they had accidentally put no, we could probably set it up just to send them an email saying, "Are you sure? Was this a typo?" But if they don't agree to the group rules, then you give them a chance to correct it or cancel their subscription or remove them from the group. Right? That would be pretty simple to set up in the automation section. Okay. Channels. We can add any number of channels we wanted to in here, which you're just giving it a name and a description. You can give it some icons or emojis to identify the channel. Okay, so plenty to choose from. Bang. There we go. It's the surfing channel. Okay. And you can set this channel so it's either read only. Okay. So that's members can read all the posts in it, but not post themselves. Um, or you can make the channel private as well. Okay. And then you could set up a system to invite members to join that channel, but that might be inviting them with a price upgrade. Okay, so that might be behind a different paywall. All right. So lots of flexibility about how you set this up. What I've tended to use is in the past is I would go back to my AI. Okay, and go. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, thanks. That's sorted. Right, now I need some ideas of 3 or 4 channels that I could set up inside the community. Bang. Let's just send that away and just see what AI says with the very little context that we've got here. So we've got a recommended structure of start here, weekly surgery sessions, AI automation and business growth, wins and progress, AB optional templates and resources. Okay. Let me just put those just to show you what mission control to do. Hormozy, what do you think of that plan? Okay, Hormozy is one of the business architect prompts that I've done in the past, and I've updated him. He's a hard-nosed bugger. Will look at your ideas and won't tell you your fantastic idea. That's great. It will tell you straight. Overcomes a bit of the sort of AI sycophancy. Structure is solid, but I've tightened 2 things. AI automation business growth is too broad. Better options are build help, tech and automation help, business build support, ask the community. Clarity beats cleverness. Okay. Second thing to note is the real product is not the community, the real product is the momentum. That means every channel should answer, does this help members take action faster? That's the only metric that matters. Okay, that's pretty cool, isn't it? So it's given me the different channels here. Look, it's even given me the emojis as well. That's cool. So I could push back and refine, or I could, let me just push back, show you what this can do. Crucible, do you have a view of this? Okay, Crucible is a persona in here that is there to stress test ideas and will rip things apart and put things back together and point things out. Particularly useful if you're going through sort of business plans or marketing plans for your product. Okay, so the structure is competent, it's not yet defensible. Right now, you're designing a useful community, which is not enough. The internet is full of useful communities with dead engagement, passive numbers, and no commercial gravity. Yep, we know that. Your actual problem is what channel is not what channel should exist. Your actual problem is how do we prevent this from becoming another silent SaaS support group? Okay, it's a good way of looking at it. Yeah. The community currently depends too heavily on you. Yeah, that's fine, but it doesn't know about all our other excellent coaches who come in so we can have more people. But if you are building this for yourself in your community, it might be something that you want to consider. Getting tied to a community is it's quite hard work, moderating and keep things going, and you need help. Wins and progress sounds good at first, but often dies because beginners don't post wins, struggling members don't want visibility, and lurkers consume silently. So unless you seed the behavior aggressively, it becomes an empty room. Okay, so don't ask for wins. Ask for the negatives. What did you build this week? What got stuck? What did you launch? Post screenshots. Okay, that's a good idea, isn't it? Um, if you took the first ideas out of this process, you might just have sort of something a little bit vanilla. But this process allows you to really refine and rip apart and perfect your offering or your work or whatever you're chatting about. Okay, your positioning attracts freebie hunters. Okay, yeah. At the end of the day, yes, we want to get people to have the confidence to take on Ultimate Business System. It's fair enough. Okay, you're a missing identity language. Right, so it's identified quite a few bits and pieces there. So what I'm going to do, hey Hormozy, just take a look at that and see if we can improve the setup. So I'm going to Hormozy. No, we don't want that. We want Hormozy. Okay, so I'm going to send that back to Hormozy and get his view on it. He's the business architect. Uh, so here's the upgraded version, building around transformation. Your members do not wake up wanting another AI discussion, more tutorials, or more business content. They want momentum, clarity, implementation, and proof. Okay, so we're going to structure it to start here, have some pin posts, build this week, Wednesday surgery, what we're covering, what people are coming back from as questions and key takeaways. Shipped and won. Okay, not wins. Wins feels intimidating. Okay, and it's now talking about creating a posting flow. Okay, so this is the just a very simple example of what mission control can do, and it's something that will be released out into the AI Insiders Club for members in a few weeks' time when we're ready for the relaunch. Okay, it's pretty powerful. This is just giving it a very simple test, but you can have some really long, in-depth conversations with it, and it works really, really well. Okay. But I say when we get to launching it, we'll do a deeper look at what the process can offer. Okay, giving it a bit more of a challenge. Take one of those problems you've had in your own business, maybe that has been you've been thinking about how to overcome it, and challenge this set of personas to work through it and come out with an action plan. Okay, it's pretty flexible. It will, this mission control can build your email automations, and it can do your email marketing, get all your content together for your socials, write your blog pages, do your sales pages, content, all sorts of stuff. So it's a sort of complete business backup. Okay. All right. So anyway, that was the little bit of infomercial for mission control. Okay, back into here. Okay, so this is where we would then add those extra channels as suggested. Okay, when you are going to post, it's really easy. You just put your title in and probably spell it correctly, and then put all your body in. You can add GIFs to your posts if you'd want to. You can add images you can even add videos. Okay, so YouTube, Vimeo, or Loom links can go in here. So, for instance, if I wanted you know, there's a link to. Sorry, I'm just grabbing a button from the AI, the surgery YouTube channel. Okay, and actually, I've got that so it doesn't embed, haven't I? I've got it protected, which is why it's not appearing in here. I should have taken another video, but anyway, you can put in YouTube channel links. Okay, here and just sort of post things around. Okay, so you can make these posts look pretty good with the builder, and then you can go in here and you can move it to a different channel or edit it, disable comments. You can pin it to the top into the featured section. Okay. And you can also, take the link for the post. So if we wanted to have a different channel that I mentioned a post in here, I could put it as a link inside that simple post. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. Um, in the learning side, I talked about adding a course. Okay, so if you've got an existing course set up inside of your Ultimate Business System profile, okay, then we could add that into the access in this community. Okay, nice and simple, dead easy. Yeah, build the course, make the community, link them together. Okay, and so you can do live events as well. So we could just schedule a event as well. Bang. Look, you can charge for it as well if you wanted to. Um, we're not doing that if people are coming into the process. Okay? So really, really flexible. And the great thing is once you've got all this information inside of your Ultimate Business System account, you've got these people who are joining and they are going into your contact database, right? And their actions are going to be recorded so that you can then go and create those automations, okay? Which I know we've done a few of them so far in some of the other sessions. I know Vish has been doing them, but you just go in here and use this automation setup to, send them emails when they join, perhaps, or, when they've posted for the first time, you send them an email. If they've got a live event coming up, send them a message. Right? So really, really flexible. And as you grow more familiar with the platform, then this will become more second nature. Right? I tend to use, again, mission control, trained on a lot of the help documents in here to help me overcome any issues and build things more quickly. All right. So yeah, once you've got that community built, then you can get that link for the community, or you can go to courses and then offers, and you can create an offer for your community, or you can create an offer for your course, whichever. Okay, which you either do free or paid, etc. And then you just market that and get people to come and join you. Okay, really nice and simple and flexible. All right. So yeah, it's dead easy to set up. then you're just working on your community all the time to just try and build it up, engage, and get people talking. Look at what they're saying. Um, get people communicating between each other on particular posts and threads. Okay, and then you're just building it up and managing it. All right. So that's the look through on uh, the community side of Ultimate Business System. Lovely. Any questions along the way? Bimby said, when you build the prompts for Hormozy, how did you select and provide AI the information on what Alex Hormozy said? That's the person would behave like him. Bimby, honestly, if I told you that, you'd be me. Yeah, it's taken sort of 2 or 3 years of learning how to build and write those prompts that make AI perform so well. Um, you'll actually start seeing in a lot of forums where people are saying, "Oh, prompting is dead," um, and I kind of think that those people are people who don't understand prompting or never understood prompting in the first place. Um, because the words and the structure you use inside AI, the models respond um, to those words and even emojis and symbols in different ways, unexpected ways, and a lot of sort of standard um, gurus, I suppose, or people who are trying to build up communities around, Claude or ChatGPT. They just don't really understand it. So it's easy for them to say, "Oh, you don't need prompting. Um, just follow my instructions." But yeah, the quality of the prompts makes a huge difference to the quality of the output. Okay, so what I spent time doing in the AI Insiders Club in this relaunch is I rebuilt a whole load of the prompts and that I've done in the past, and I created a whole load of new ones. Okay, so if you need help building a knowledge base for a chatbot, there's a prompt for it, and then a chatbot system prompt engineer. We've got one in there, an AI opportunity report. Okay, so if you're an AI advisor and you're looking at local businesses or businesses to offer your services to, instead of cold calling that business, you can use mission control to root out all the potential candidates in your local area or in a geographical area, narrow them down to the most likely of businesses that might need some AI support or training. You can then send off one of the prompts in here called Scout that will go off and find out all about them and do some deeper research, and it will also potentially produce some deep research prompts for you to run separately to get background information. It will then take all that and put it into a report that you could potentially send that business. So you're not cold calling them, you're reaching out to them with context about their business, right? Just by running it through mission control in the various steps. Okay. Uh, there's a prompt to help you with automations and video creation systems, Jeremy. Just not as good as your, but it will help people. An AI readiness audit generator for businesses, client proposal writers, professional communications, um, product commercialization and offer. Okay, there's a project manager workflow, um, technical brief generators, content creators, personal brand and LinkedIn posting. That's the crucible one, the devil's advocate and stress stretching. Okay, pitching, uh, lots of stuff in here. And as I go over time, I'll be potentially adding extra ones as people need. Okay. And build out all different versions of mission control. So mission control for small businesses, mission control for high street, mission control for teachers potentially. It's got lots of flexibility, but it's built around the quality of the prompts. Okay. And um, the quality of the prompts make all the difference. I have just been writing prompts and building this new community, so it's been a bit mad. And actually, the process that makes this work is something that I've kind of tested and stumbled upon, which is like the USP of the process of how you get a single chat to switch out to all of these different personas and route conversations and everything like that. And that's the bit that took some real working out. Okay. And again, it's not something I've seen anyone else doing. They're all saying go off and use agents, go off and use this, that, and the other. Okay, Claude co-work. Okay, but this is being able to ask questions of the really of the frontier models themselves, of the best models of ChatGPT and Claude. Okay, and get the finest quality output. So I can do things in here in half an hour that previously took me sort of 2 hours, 3 hours of prompting, of taking conversations, taking results, copying and pasting prompts into a new chat, and you know, um, and losing context along the way. Right. So it is super powerful. Super powerful. I think it's great. Okay. I've got a few more people beta testing it. So we're getting the feedback on those people at the moment and just refining it and tweaking it to make it better before we release it. Cool. Right. Oh, I showed you how fast that was. Okay. And basically by creating that community, we have that whole integrated uh, ecosystem. In fact, do you know what? My whole slide deck I built using mission control. Um, and got it to create a whole sort of prompt series that I drop into my presentation deck. It took about half an hour to do the whole deck in one go. It's just saved me so much time. Oh, look, I forgot to put the URL in there. Sorry. I missed that bit. Cool. All right, lovely. Right, that's the end of today. Sorry, it's longer, but I've kind of probably done two sessions in one about how to set up a community and attach it all together, and then I've gone off on a slight tangent with mission control. But yeah, if anyone's got any questions, then drop them in now, and I'll help you. Otherwise, it'll be kind of like next week, won't it? I can't remember who's next week. I just know whenever I've stepped away from this, I'm then going back to getting the new AI Insiders Club ready for launch. Okay, that's my main focus. Just to remind you, the replays will go out into the YouTube channel, and I process those and add them into the YouTube, and I usually set them to launch on a Friday at 1 p.m. lunchtime in the UK. So if you like and subscribe at the Ultimate Business System channel, you'll get a ping notification when it goes live. All right, and you can watch through again. And I do sort of edit out some of the mistakes or rambles, or it takes a little bit of time with me. Cool. Lovely. Thank you very much indeed, everybody. And we will see you next week on the surgery session. I suspect it might be Vish next week. I'm not entirely sure. Um, but we will move you forward and get you more and more confident with Ultimate Business System. Okay, so we can start hearing from people who I know are out there building stuff because we're helping people build stuff. Okay. Mark says, will an email reminder be sent about that? Yeah, we send email reminders every week about the surgery sessions. And because you've got this, also once you've signed up to the Zoom meetings, okay, Zoom send you a reminder every week, like a day before, and I think an hour before the session as well. All right. Or you could just set yourself an alarm, Mark, Wednesday, 1 p.m. UK, and just use the same Zoom link every week. All right. I will see you next week. Lovely. Thanks very much, everybody. I'll catch you later.